Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and back with another Temu tutorial review. Temu review. Yeah. Um anyway, I had received my package from Temu and I ordered a couple of things to review. If you haven't seen it already, it should be out shortly, or it's already out, and I will add the link to it at the end of this video. There is a Tunisian crochet hook review as well from the same company. And these are knitting needles. They are classified as 15.74 inch knitting needle. And yeah, I figured it was worth a shot. Let's try. There was a total of 18 different sizes. Some of them I don't think I would use, but you know, whatever. So I'm going to pull the largest ones to start with, and we're going to kind of look at those first. Oops, got a tiny one in there. All right, so here's some of the larger ones. Let's look and see. All right, so we have an 8mm, a 10mm, and a 9. Okay, that's fine. And the first thing that I notice when I look at these, and some people are going to be okay with it and some aren't. I personally like a pointed tip, and these are very flat. That's the very first thing I noticed when I pulled them out of the package. I went, oh, wow. There's like no tip to these at all. They're blunt. But that's okay. We're going to check them out anyway and see. But let's take a look at the join on these. It doesn't look bad. There's a little bit of a roughness to it, but not bad. So here's these larger ones. That one I can definitely feel the difference. You might be able to actually see it if it'll focus in. There's quite a catch there. The same with this one. So we'll see. We're going to check it out and work with 3 different sizes and 3 different style yarns. So I'm going to pull out the next group of sizes, the like medium sizes here. Let's see. All right, so here's some medium sizes. We have a 6, 6.5, let's see, a 7. Well, flip them around here. 5.5, a 5, and somewhere there's got to be a number on it. There it is, a 4.5. Okay, so let's take a look at the join on these. Again, for the most part, they're pretty blunt on the ends. That one's a little sharper. The join on these, I'm not feeling like that's kind of rough. As they get smaller, it, of course, is going to be a little bit smoother. They could use a little bit of sanding right down at the base down here, just that light sanding, just something to knock the little bit of roughness to them, knock that off. All right, let's look at the smaller ones. Let's see. Some of these are so small, I don't think they could even put a number on it if they tried. Good grief. There is a number on it. It is 2.25, and This one has a lot of jagged edges. I can feel it. Almost like feels like a if you broke a toothpick, the rough, pointy, sharp spots from where you broke it. That's kind of what this feels like right here. I bet you that would hang up. They're not too bad. You couldn't really be putting a lot of pressure on them. I feel like it would break pretty easily. So I'm gonna set that one down. And let's go to the next one here. These have a better point on them, by the way. This is a 2.5. And the join on it's not that bad. There is a little bit of roughness right there. That side's not too bad. These aren't too bad. 3.5. And, oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to move the camera. And a 3.2. No, 2 millimeter. Sorry, 2 millimeter. That set's not too bad. Let's look at the next ones. 3.25 and a 3 millimeter. I feel a little bit of roughness, but not bad. Let's look at these last three. We got a 3.75. That's probably one of the better ones I've felt out of all of them. And a 2.75. That one is really super smooth. And it actually has a decent point on it. And this is a 4 millimeter, and it actually feels really nice. All right, so let's grab the 5.5 for some worsted weight. I'm going to grab the largest one, the 10 millimeter, for some blanket yarn. And let's see, we'll grab 6.5 for some lightly spun, lightweight 5, bulky 5. All right, I'm gonna work up a little bit of a swatch in these three different weights with these three different knitting needles, and then I'll come back and tell you what I think, and we'll work a little bit together. Okay, so I went ahead and worked up 4 different sizes, 4 different sets of needles. This is the 2.0 millimeter, and I went ahead and worked up just a little swatch of some Hobby Lobby hand-dyed yarn, just the lightweight, sport weight to sock weight, very, very, very light. And I worked it up on, like I said, the 2 millimeter. And as I was saying, it is grabby. You can see it pulling. It's not too bad, but it does grab. If this was a yarn that would split and fray really easily, there would be more of an issue, but it's not just sliding back and forth real easily. It is not bad, but it's not great either. So there is the stitches. That's the knit side. That's the purl side. I did not have any problems knitting with the needles at all. So I'll just knit a few stitches with you just so you can see that I did not have any issues knitting. So as you can see, it's knitting just fine. The needles are not causing me any issues. I'm being somewhat gentle. I don't want to take a chance in snapping it. They are, you know, pretty flimsy being so tiny. But there you go. I went ahead and knitted the whole entire row. And as you've seen, I did not have a problem. Now we are hanging up a lot more on this one. Yeah. Quite a bit more on this side, on this needle. Okay, so you see, you get the point. It is hanging up. I'm able to work it, you know, back up onto the needle fairly easy, but I could see where that would be a little annoying if you were working in the round. Just a little bit of grabbing there. All right, so that is the very lightweight. Next, we'll go to the Aran worsted weight, and I didn't have hardly any issues at all. In fact, I don't think I did have any problems with this one. And I used the 5.5 millimeter, and the yarn that I'm using here is just some Mainstay from Walmart sparkle acrylic yarn. And I'll just knit through some so that way you can see I'm not having an issue. Even though I had a concern about these being blunt ends, it's not been an issue. So you can see I'm just not having a problem knitting, just running right through it. I'm not going to knit the whole row. I just wanted to give you an idea as to working up some of the Aran weight. And as you can see, I'm pulling it up onto the needle here just fine. Not having any issues there. I'll go ahead and pull this one through, and you can see there's a little bit of grabbing this one, but not bad either. So that was the Aran worsted weight. Now I'm going to go to a little bit bulkier. This one I used the 6.5 knitting needles, and I will again work through just a couple of stitches with you. Not having any issues getting it up and down onto the needle here. Let's see. Whoops. Just run through a couple of stitches here. Now this yarn is very lightly spun, so it doesn't have a super twist. It's a 2-ply. So it has a bigger chance of splitting and getting hung up. So you can see I'm not having any issues sliding this particular yarn or knitting it. I'm going to go ahead and run through all the stitches on this one. All right, let's check this needle out over here. Little bit of grabbing, not too bad, nothing like on, well, similar to the first one I showed you, but not too bad. Okay, so that was this one. We'll look at the stitches real quick. Not too bad at all. I'll show you the stitches on the Aran worsted weight. There you go. And then the last one that I have is the blanket yarn. Now, here is the blanket yarn. If you've worked with blanket yarn before, you know how grabby it is. You know how difficult it can be sometimes to get even stitches. So you see here, we've got a little bit of uneven knitting. Not a problem. Let's go ahead and run through some of the stitches so that way you can see how they work up. It is a little difficult, but not too bad to get them up on the stitches up on the needle. So here we go. We're just going to knit through a few stitches so you can see the needles actually working. Okay, I'm not going to run through all the stitches, but I just wanted to show you using the larger blanket yarn. So it's not bad, it's just, it's blanket yarn. I mean, it is what it is, right? So as far as the needles themselves, not too bad. I would say out of the 4 that I worked up, this one grabbed the most, but it was not that bad. So we have all these different sizes that we worked up. And I wasn't upset at all with any of them. I'm going to say that for the price of $3.99 for 18 different circular 15.74 inch needles, I'm not upset at all. I do not think that that was a bad price. I mean, shoot, you pay more than that for one set with a really hard plastic at Walmart. I'm going to say that I'm pretty happy and pretty pleased with them. $3.99 for 18 different sizes and them work well. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. All right, everyone. So that is my overall review on it. I am not sponsored, affiliated, associated, any of that stuff with Temu, or any company for that matter. And I just want to give my honest review opinion on the knitting circular needles that I picked up. I will put the link to their description or to their website down below. There is an app. They do different kinds of rewards. They have a ton of stuff. Basically, you just put in the search bar what you're looking for. Otherwise, you'll be scrolling for hours and hours and hours. It's worse than some other apps that I've seen as far as having so many things and getting zoned out. So I would most definitely, when you go in, put in what you're looking for and go straight to it. I'm impressed with what I received, how well they are worked up, you know, the fabric that I worked up, pretty impressed with them. All right, everyone, be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.